Now, a U.S. Navy SEAL has been found not guilty of killing an Islamic State prisoner and other murder charges by a San Diego jury. Special Operations Chief Eddie Gallagher was charged with several war crimes in Iraq. He was accused of stabbing an injured teenager to death and shooting many other people. He has now been acquitted of all counts, but he has been convicted for unlawfully posing with the corpse of an Islamic State fighter. Posing for an unofficial picture with a human casualty carries a maximum sentence of 4 months imprisonment. However, the Navy says that Gallagher has already served 7 months in pre-trial custody, which means that he would be a free man. Another proceeding is set to take place to decide whether he will face any other punishment. Gallagher's fellow SEAL members have testified that he stabbed the teenager, but he has been found not guilty of murder. The U.S. Navy SEAL had been arrested in 2018, a year after he returned from his overseas deployment in Iraq's Mosul. Gallagher has professed his innocence, saying that his disgruntled subordinates have fabricated allegations against him.
Yeah, I'm happy and I'm thankful. Thank God and my legal team and my wife.
I mean, I was feeling like we're finally vindicated after being terrorized by the government that my husband fought for 2 decades in the war on terror. He's fought every major enemy of the United States. He is a righteous and noble individual, and his name has been smeared and slandered and dragged through the mud. And I think that this vindication, I hope, will be a lesson learned to everybody that we need to uphold innocent until proven guilty, due process, and we need to afford the benefit of the doubt to our war heroes who we send over there to fight these evils. Amen. I think this whole thing is disgusting.
Now, as India's war against black money and economic offenders continues, London saw a legal battle yesterday. Vijay Mallya, who was recently spotted getting heckled and booed at a cricket stadium in England, found himself at a London court yet again. He wanted to appeal against his extradition. Things have gone in his favour, at least for now. He was seeking permission to appeal against the order to extradite him to India. Remember, that order was signed earlier by UK's Home Secretary Sajid Javid. Mallya's case was heard yesterday by a 2-judge bench of the Administrative Court Division of the Royal Courts of Justice. The arguments were taking place between Mallya's legal team and the Crown Prosecution Service. At the end of those arguments, the fugitive liquor baron got temporary relief. The UK court has allowed Vijay Mallya to appeal against his extradition, and now Mallya's case will be heard in the appeals court. But the time frame is not clear. It could be months before the verdict comes out. For now, the former king of good times wants to be left alone. This is what he told reporters stationed outside the court.
I still want the banks to take all the money, do what they have to do, and leave me in peace.
Yeah, and as you can see, Vijay Mallya is still behind me. He's talking to reporters about the fact that he does have permission to have that appeal court go forward. The main arguments that Claire Montgomery, his defense lawyer, put forth is that there was some questionable, there's questions around that evidence that was permitted. There was also questions around a number of other arguments, including the conditions of the jail, whether he'd get a fair trial, whether it was politically motivated. All those other grounds were rejected, but the judge did say there might be grounds, and there was ground one, where there might have been a question about the permissibility of that evidence. And based on that, they will hear the appeal. So there is yet to be a date decided, but it means that for now, he has won his right to appeal, to have that evidence back and before the court, just based on that evidence, so we can expect it within the coming months.
Now, Indonesia is leading by example when it comes to dealing with plastic waste. Refusing to be a dumping ground for international trash, Indonesia is set to return 49 shipping containers full of plastic waste to France and other developed countries. Indonesia has been long hoarding the waste that came from United States, Australia, France, Germany and Hong Kong. It was only in the last month that the Southeast Asian nation had returned 5 containers to the US. A combination of garbage, plastic waste and hazardous materials banned for import filled up the containers that are set to sail. With this, Indonesia joins the Southeast Asian chorus against accepting plastic waste dumped by the Western countries. This comes after China's decision in 2018 to ban imports of foreign plastic waste, which threw global recycling into chaos, leaving developed nations struggling to find places to send their waste. And here's a story that's been an absolute visual delight. Millions of sky gazers were left in awe as a total solar eclipse plunged parts of South America into darkness. Thousands of people gathered in the Chilean Andes on Tuesday to watch the solar eclipse. Some of the best views were from Chile's sprawling Atacama Desert, where a lack of humidity and city lights combined to create the world's clearest skies. The path of totality, where the moon visibly blocks the sun, spanned parts of Chile and Argentina. The umbral shadow, the area in which the sun is completely covered by the moon, passed over the Pacific Ocean, Chile and Argentina. Appearing in the skies of La Serena in Chile, the eclipse travelled over the Andes mountain range before ending near south of Buenos Aires in Argentina. While Chile and Argentina were lucky to have the best views of the eclipse, people as far away as La Paz in Bolivia were also able to steal glimpses of the wondrous phenomenon. The total solar eclipse drew people to the Coquimbos to observe the astronomical marvel. Scientists also watched the solar corona through the state-of-the-art telescopes. The region has not seen an eclipse since 1592, according to the Chilean Astronomy Society. The next one in the area is expected in the year 2165. And that's not all. A dramatic time-lapse has been capturing the moment the sky darkened for total solar eclipse in Chile's Coquimbo region. The clear skies of Chile changed from blue to black as people waited outdoors to witness the rare moment. Here's more.